TakingaPaigeonReiki, and we are on episode 10 now. So yeah, today I'm going to bring up a very interesting topic, and I think this can be one of the struggle for many, because I personally have witnessed that happening in our friends and also clients and students as well. So today's topic, we are going to talk about charging for your Reiki services, or technically for any of your energy services if you're offering them, like charging for them, like how should you charge for them, as well as that constant worry about charging too much. Okay, I'm not going to go too in depth with this, because I think everyone should sit with themselves and come up with their own prices. But I'm going to talk about charging for your Reiki services, how that is actually a good thing to do. Okay, so yes, there are so many that I've met, that I personally work with, and they're finding it very difficult to charge another person for their Reiki or their energy services. Okay, and yeah, they will either struggle to charge another for their services at all, or they struggle to charge the asset, or that the price that they deserve. They often charge too little, or they offer give a tons of offerings, give a tons of free readings out, give a tons of discount, a tons of tip based energy work. And I totally think that that is a good thing to do. Okay, don't get me wrong, free services, if you feel called to offer them to another person, it is great. Okay, it can be helpful to somebody, especially those who might need the service but they are unable to afford a full service. It is always a good one. But in the case that you have to think, if you constantly offering free services to another person or discounted services, that is you undercharging yourself. That is you not giving yourself the enough resources, to continuously evolve in your craft, to continuously live the life that you deserve to live. So yes, of course, your price points, once again, is for you to determine. I can't tell you how much you should charge. Okay, I won't pretend to know everything. I definitely do not know you. I do not know your services. I do not know your experience, your daily expenses. So I can't determine your price point for you. That is for you to determine. Okay, but yeah, I hope this video would be able to bring some insight and bring you some of the some tools for you to find that balance in charging the price that you're worthy of, and offering affordable affordable services for others as well. So yeah, let's dive into that. So first thing to understand, yes, is that when you charge for a service, okay, you are essentially allowing energy exchange to happen. Okay, this is whenever you are performing a Reiki session, you are expending energy. Okay, and you are spending time with the person you're working with, and you deserve to, in some way, shape or form, get compensated for the time and the energy you expended, so that you can take care of yourself. Okay, to understand energy exchange, okay, or balance energy exchange, I have to bring up some of the things that I have learned from other teachers myself. Okay, so yes, what is balance energy? Okay, balance energy exchange. Okay, we have to first know that there is actually 4 resources in this world for us to play around. Okay, in the form of energy exchange. Okay, so the first one is the very basic one that everyone, of course, all four of them, that all of us kind of in some way, shape or form we have. Okay, but yes, the first one, the most basic resource that we have, is the life force energy, which is our life, our health, our physical body, and the health of our physical body, the ability to function, to learn, to get into the world and do things that keep us living. Okay, and then the second resources we have is money. Okay, money, and Then the third one, which is value, which I would always call like, you know, the things that you train, the things that you have put in time and money and effort to learn. So value. And then the last but not least, the fourth one, the fourth resource is time. Okay, so yes, life force energy, okay, while replenishable, it is also the hardest form of resource to replenish, especially when one has expended it over a limit. Okay, so for example, it's like when one has wrecked their health, okay, like for overworking, when they are, you know, having too little rest, and you know their health is basically being pushed beyond a limit. Okay, it is difficult, okay, because it will take a lot of time, value, and your money to, you know, to recover them. Okay, so yeah, life force energy is the basic one that we have, but at the same time, if we overuse it, if we expended too much of it, we might find it to be one of the hardest form of resource to recover. And then we have money, value, and time. These three are interchangeable, with time being the most versatile resource of the three. Okay, okay, so for example, on the three of them, the three resources I mentioned that we can interchangeable. Okay, for example, it's like you can use money to exchange for value. Okay, for example, this is purchasing a course to improve yourself and your skill. Okay, and of course you can use, second method is kind of like you can use time to exchange for more values for yourself. So as in putting in practice, putting in time for practices, so that you can gain a greater understanding of the topic, of the skill, etc. Okay, and then of course you can also use money to buy time, which is like hiring helper, hiring people to help you with things that you're not familiar with things that you you need to do, but you do not have the time to do. Okay, and of course you can also use time to gain money, which is what many of us are doing when we go to work, when we are actually working in a company. We are essentially selling our time for money. So yes, the above is like a very basic concept of, you know, all these four resources. If you would like to learn more about this, I would have to refer you to Jason, which is someone I've learned this from. I will link the video in regarding to these four resources in the description down below, so you can go and check it out. Okay, so yes, let's come back to a Reiki session. Let's talk about an energy or a Reiki session. So when one is performing a Reiki session for another, okay, we can easily see that the person is expanding both their values, okay, because they have put in the work, they have put in the time, the money to learn about Reiki itself in the first place. Okay, so they're expanding they're putting their values into the session. Okay, and then they are also putting in their time into the session, regardless of how many minutes or hours that they spend on the session. Yeah, like, you know, the time would be allocated to work with the other person. Yeah, so the person who received the session can, of course, okay, balance this to the Reiki practitioner. They can balance this with resources. Okay, so they have, once again, the life force, the money, their value, and the time. They can play around with, you know, mixing few of them, so that they can, you know, kind of like compensate, or in a way like, you know, replenish the practitioner for their energy expend. Okay, so yes, which resource to balance out the session, the energy exchange, is based on, you know, the agreement both party come to, you know, agree on before the session usually. So if the practitioner set the price like, hey, this is my price, and the receiver be like, hey, I'm going to pay you with money and we are going to work together, yeah, sure, that would be good. That would be like a great exchange as well. Okay, or if the practitioner is like set the terms that, hey, I am giving out Reiki session in exchange for a professional, let's say, tarot reading, and they come to agreement, and both party can do an equal energy exchange that way. So when there is and resources exchange or energy exchange happening, and sometimes they can have like imbalances, okay, and imbalances often occur because one is that the practitioner are not seeing the values in their practice, and hence they are undercharging themselves. Okay, they might feel like, hey, I'm not practicing on this skill long enough, or they have like imposter syndrome. They do not dare to charge more, or they feel like they have to have or offer a competitive price to their fellow fellow Reiki practitioners, so that they can get more clients. Okay, in that way they are actually in a way, they are actually asking for a return resource, but there is not enough to balance the energy that they expend out. Okay, in scenario number 2 is that also the practitioner might not have accounted the time that they spend to perform the session. They might be charging for their values, this is something that I have learned, but they have not accounted like the time that they would spend in the session. Okay, or maybe they have not accounted for the extra minutes. Okay, for me, usually, of course, I don't charge everyone the extra minutes, but if the session is going over for 1 or 2 hours, and I think that is a good time for a practitioner to go back and review the price. If the energy that they expend during that long session, is it balanced by the price that they charge for the session. So you might wonder, so what happens to the practitioner if the service that they put out, they're undercharging, they are not receiving enough resources to balance out the resources that they have spent. Okay, and this is a very common case. The practitioner would automatically have to like energy balance out itself out. So naturally, the practitioner would be balancing the remaining imbalances with their personal life force energy. So in another word, okay, this means that the practitioner might be getting less rest and less sleep, and they might be working more. They might be under higher stress, just to make ends meet every month, or they might have to settle for less healthy food, so that it is costing less, because they don't have enough money to go and get themselves healthy and fresh food themselves. So yeah, all this is like part of their life force energy, because all this is generally they are assisting one to upkeep their life force. So yeah, if you as a practitioner, I have to say, and you constantly find yourself tired, or if you are approaching a burnout, or if you have experienced burnout maybe more than one time, okay, I would say that it would be a good time for you to look into where your resources are imbalanced, where are you expending too much of your resources for others, and where you are not being given the equal exchange back. Okay, once again, the equal exchange does not have to be money. It can be you're exchanging your services for another person's their services or their courses. Okay, you can exchange your services for their help, like let's say I'm exchanging Reiki for another person to, let's say, do my accounting, which I'm absolutely suck at. I do not know how to do them. So yeah, you can actually do like an exchange like that. And if there is you feel any imbalances between both, like the exchange itself, you can also negotiate with the other person, like, hey, I can do this, and can we also settle the rest of them with monetary or other different type of services as well. So don't feel like I understand everyone on the spiritual path wants to help another person. I feel the deep call to help another person as well. But you can't help another person by starving yourself. You can't help another person when your own resources are not balanced. Okay? And yes, it goes without saying, if you are struggling, you are having like a lot of restless days and approaching burnout, please consider raising your price. Okay, consider raising your price so that you can take better care of yourself, and when you taken better care of yourself, you can offer a better service to those that you are offering service to. And yes, people who value their Reiki, value their healing session, would definitely also value you, the practitioner, and they also want you to live a healthy, live a lively life too. So it makes sense, that they won't run away just because you raise the price. They would want you to live happy as well. Okay, so I hope this is enough of an encouragement for anyone who is like struggling with charging, or struggling with charging your clients at a higher price point. Because I would say that as long as you put in the effort, you put in the practices, you put in your time, you put in all your knowledge, all your care, all your love into the session, it's worth it. Okay, so yeah, like, thank you for joining me once again on another episode, and I'm looking forward to see you guys on the next episode again, which will be quite a controversial episode, I have to say. When you are Reiki practitioner, can you drink alcohol and take substances? It is a very big question, and I would say, like, I am going to offer some more controversial take on that, so look forward to that. If you are new here, please feel free to subscribe, turn on the notification button. If this video is helpful for you, please give it the thumbs up. And if you have any advice, you have any experience you would like to share with us, feel free to utilize the comment down below, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you all more. Okay, looking forward to see you guys soon. Bye.